Tehosterihesens Deer here to help provide another political update here at the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. To get things started, it has been a while since our last announcement on tolls. Now, where do things stand from early August to right now, mid-November?
So the last we've heard from the tolls, so we did issue an RFP, or a request for proposals, really trying to assess the whole situation as well. We know there's four major entryways, we'll say. You know, you have the 207, 138, 132, and the OCR. Different areas have different realities. So it's a lot easier on the OCR end because you have one way in. So in terms of a toll booth there, those are plans that we're going to be assessing. But in terms of the 138, 132, 207, we really have to look at those areas as well in terms of location, size, placement, things like that. Those all have major factors. So that's pretty much where we've left off with the tolls. We'll have more information as that comes out once we hear back in terms of how many proposals we've received, you know, the companies. There will be selection processes, and then of course there's going to be a bigger community engagement on that, but we really need to start laying the groundwork in terms of that and presenting it to the community. Really going to take the winter though to establish you know, a lot of the groundwork on that.
What do you think the community reaction has been like within these past few months and even weeks?
I think, you know, there are you know, legitimate concerns and questions that need to be answered for some community members. How is this going to affect traffic, you know, emergency services, businesses, right, particularly, you know, how do we work with the business communities as well, you know, to ensure that there's not so much of an impact at the end of the day. But we've seen, you know, the recent federal government budget. There is a 2% cut in funding to Indigenous Services Canada, which is already severely underfunded, but we still don't know the full effects of that till probably next year at this time when they do their new budget, what the effects of this 2% was. They were stating before it was 15% over 3 years. Right now we see it's 2%. Does that mean they're going to be doing 13% over the next 2 years? Or are they going to be switching gears?
So last week, the 207, there was a lot of plans that have been happening there.
Yes.
Walk us through, what's it been like in the first week? What have you been hearing in terms of the traffic mitigation since the announcement?
It's people who are trying to get towards the bridge and Google Maps are taking them a certain way. So we're going to have to really fix that to make sure how we can interject on those systems and divert them back towards the 132 going forward. But it's only going to take a few times and then people are going to get used to it. So yeah, I mean, we do know that there's broader things that have to be discussed as well in terms of the afternoon traffic. But again, with everything, there's more complications, there's more planning that has to go into it. So this is an initial first step. You know, any information community members have, suggestions, we're open to that. And let's start assessing how we can start going forward on this as a community. We also have to figure out how we can ensure public safety of the community as well as access for our community members at the same time. So it's a delicate balance for sure. You know, road safety and, you know, just we'll say common sense has to prevail at that time. You can't be passing buses. You know, some of our buses just were damaged. We have the arms that go down in opposite directions that were clipped because cars wanted to go around them. So it's not in any way a punishment for anybody commuting, but there's such a large volume of traffic happening because of all the closures around. The 207 itself is not designed to sustain that much traffic. It's a residential road. Yes, there are businesses on it, but it's not meant as like a freeway or a highway. That's the 138 and 132 that's able to sustain that. Please, you know, respect our choice to look after our community safety at the end of the day.
Recently, you were at the Iroquois Caucus within give or take 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now, just walk us through some key updates that were some takeaways that you've noticed while you were there.
Yeah, so if community members, back in April, at the end of April, we had recommitted and re-signed our trade protocol agreement with the Iroquois Caucus. So we're really getting that up and going too. We had recently a meeting between Kahnawake's Economic Development Portfolio Team members and Aguazasne's Economic Development personnel. So we're really going to be looking at how we can start opening up trade in between our two communities, really promoting local artists, different industries as well. I mean, so everything we're looking at right now. So that was the focus of that meeting. And then it's, you know, was follow up with another meeting just a couple weeks ago. And we met on Wednesday as well for council So really getting our teams, giving them direction on furthering these conversations, and really going to bring it broadly too. We also met with the Atikamekw, the Grand Chief, Constant Awasuish. He's really interested as well from their nation's perspective on partnering and working with the Iroquois Caucus on a trade protocol, again, branching out. We have one with the Blackfoot Confederacy. We had signed an alliance a couple of years back. So really dusting all that stuff off, and we're looking at, First Nation to First Nation trade and prosperity, sidestepping or keeping the province, federal government out. That's the approach we're taking.
So a couple community members have even approached myself too as well, bringing attention to recent border crossing struggles. Now, is there anything you can kind of bring awareness to as well in regards to what has been happening within the past, I think it was give or take a week to 10 days?
Yeah, so borders, since the Trump administration took over, we've seen a rise in, we'll say, the application of the law, and I put that in quotes. So as per on the state side, when you cross, and as per their law right now, there is the requirement for 50% blood quantum or more for the sort of the J Treaty. We are working within the J Treaty Border Alliance. That's a culmination of Kahnawake, so myself as one of the co-chairs, with Akwesasne on both sides. So they have a seat on each side, the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne and then the St. Regis tribe, as well as the Kootenai tribe. So we're the co-chairs, and we've been working to try and get the law changed on the American side to eliminate that blood quantum. But in the meantime, I would encourage community members. So Client-Based Services does issue those letters still. Just get that letter, keep your status card with you. If there's any issues that people see in terms of working, so a lot of our iron workers, a few of them reached out to me. We have contacts with the Department of Homeland Security. We've gotten some things worked out, in terms of them requiring community members to get a visa. That's not correct. At the end of the day, you don't have to get a work visa for ironworking and things like that. So just communicate with myself. You can send me an email or call if there's any issues, and I'll reach out to our contacts on the state side through Department of Homeland Security to correct that as well.
And why we bring that up too as well, just to mind, because it also is travel season too as well. There is Black Friday that is happening in the next couple of weeks. So we're just to stay tuned in terms of for further communications. So with that in mind, that is everything that we have for today regarding the political update. And we'll see you next time.